Welcome to Worklifecyber. I'm so glad you're here today. Today, I wanted to talk to everyone about how to secure your home network. We can, as tech individuals, we can easily go, and forget about ourselves. I know nurses do that, doctors do that, but today, and you don't have to be a tech person to secure your home network, right? That's what this video is for, to really just make it very simple. I will try my best not to use tech words. Okay. I'll just do my best to explain things and make it easy. And in any case, if you cannot do any of the things I'm going to say, call your provider. They will help you set these things up, or they'll help you confirm these things. So I'm going to show you a few things that you can do to secure your home network. Number one, it's not in any particular order. You can do some of it, you can do all of it, you can not do any of it. But I highly recommend at least you do this one. Change your credentials. Now, this is not something, to be honest, the credentials on your Wi-Fi box, it's actually strong. It's very, very strong and not easy to break into because it mixes letters with numbers, and is long. I think it's 16, usually it's mostly 16 characters long, right? So it's very secure. That password is strong enough, and hackers will not be able to break in. Now, you will know that it's also written on the box, right? So it's quite exposed. Anyone can get it. Anyone, any smart person can probably, I'm not sure if it's on the manuals. I don't think it's on the manual, but it's written somewhere on the internet. Maybe if you Google the model, and for those really highly tech people, they may be able to see it, so it's quite exposed. So two things you can do if you don't think, hey, I don't get any visitors, nobody. If you can secure the box itself, the router itself, then maybe you don't need to change your credential. But I highly recommend you change your credentials from the default, which is written on the box and is exposed. So I highly recommend that you change that. And if you don't know how to change it, usually if you log in into, let's say you're using Linsky, I think that's what it's called, or you're using Xfinity or AT&T. If you log in into your account, and if you don't know how to set up an account online, you can call them and I'm sure they will walk you through it. But if you have an account online, you can go inside it, click on your profile, and there should be change password or change user ID in there. Change your user ID. The second thing, which is to this one, is do not use your last name for your name. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with it, but then if I'm looking to hack into your account, one, you've given me your last name freely, and two, it may be a targeted, let's say you're Bill Gates and I come into the area, or I don't even know that you live there, and I'm trying to hack into anyone's system. So I Google which ones, and not Google, I go into my Wi-Fi to see which, and I see Gates. Chances are I will try it. Even if it's not the Bill Gates, since it's Gates, I'll try it, right? Or I am in an area and I'm just looking to see if, forget about network, breaking into a network. If I am stalking you and I already know your last name, I look into the Wi-Fi, I will know, I can probably trace you, correct? All these wild people can trace you. So no, I think for those who have time enough, they can actually trace the name to and kind of follow it to come to your place. Or at least they know you live in that area. So please do not use your name. I see so many Jackson's home that is cute, it's nice, but you can do something. I saw someone who said love lives here. Or if you're from where I come from, you just put in some wild tree name or some wild proverb, write it all out and put it there. I mean, don't make it easy on these hackers. Sometimes, they don't hack you because they want to get anything from you. They know you probably don't have anything, but they just there are these hackers who hack just to prove to you that you're too loose. and they will not give your information back. They are very serious about these things. So please don't use, it's up to you. But my preference is that you don't use your child's name, your last name, your date of birth as your user ID. Again, that leads to my third point. Change your password. You don't use your name, your date of birth, your anniversary, where you had your wedding, all these personal information as your password, because it's guessable, right? They can easily guess it. Don't use dictionary words, because before it was okay to use dictionary words. Today it's not okay, because they have this software that tests about 1,000 dictionary words at a time. By the time you realize that someone, before it gets locked, by the time you realize that, yes, you're thinking, no, for me, if you test it 2 or 3 times, then it will lock it, and then it will send me an email. All these things are powerful. But if they were 100% hack proof or threat proof, then we wouldn't need us cybersecurity people, would we? Because these hackers are smart, we are smarter. So they have so many ways of breaking the rules. So please be one step ahead of them all the time. Again, don't think I don't have anything for them to steal. Think of what they can do with your credentials. They can they can even commit crime with your credentials. They can use your social security to get, if you've watched identity theft, all these movies on Lifetime, they are real. They are happening. I don't know if those are true stories, but these things happen where you go, you give your credentials, and they have access to everything, and they use it to do other things. So please be careful out there. It's not about what they are going to steal from you, but it's about what they are going to use your information to get. Some of these people are using it to do human trafficking. So you go into the system and it's like, Mrs. Jackson is the one who has been, we saw her driver's license, but Mrs. Jackson is some old lady minding her own business somewhere. So please be very careful. Another thing that I will say is that make sure you're updating your router. Again, if you don't know how to do it, it should be pretty straightforward. If you log into the account, or even if you read the manual, you should be able to update it. And this goes even for your computers, for all these smart gadgets you have. Always make sure you're updating it, because sometimes all these updates are for protection. Some of these updates are debugging some vulnerability. So, and it patches as it updates. So please constantly update. And when you get the notification that it's time to update, don't skip it. Update. Schedule a time in the night to update it. Always keep your softwares up to date. If you don't know how to do it, I cannot show you, because AT&T router will be different from Linsky router, and it will be different from Xfinity router. It will be different. I don't know if T-Mobile provides home internet. All these things will be different. So if you don't know how to do it, it should come with a manual, or you can Google it, or call them and say, hey, I want to make sure my router is up to date, or I want to make sure, can you show me how to regularly update my router? Or ask them, maybe it updates automatically. But find out these things and make sure you are updating your router. And this leads me to my third point. Your router should be WPA3 router. It has more security. The security is higher and tighter, and actually more current, than W. I think if your router, you bought your router maybe 2019, any router manufactured 2019 and above is probably already WPA3. I think it's 2019. But you can check your model, just type it in the system and see if it's at least WPA3, because WPA2 is not tight enough, it's not secure enough. This will help with like things like brute force attack. So, and it's generally more secure because it uses a very strong encryption methods. W2, I probably have to do more research on 2, but I don't think it's as strong as W3. And to be honest, it will probably take a few more bucks to get the newer version. And if you bought your router, and like I said, if you bought your router anytime 2019 up until now, it should already be WPA3 But if it's not, you can call. I know all these people, and this is actually my other point. Most people use the company's rent routers from the company, all these boxes from the company, which is fine. In my opinion, it's too expensive. You can buy your own router and have more control over it, but to each his own. But if you're using, there's nothing wrong with it. If you're using the company's, if you're renting from the company, you're paying way too much. And if you're using the company's, when they switch from WPA3 to A3, they're not going to call everybody and say switch. So if you're with a company like maybe T-Mobile or AT&T, and I'm only using famous ones just to make it relatable, right? If they switch, they're not going to call you and say, bring your old one, or maybe they do, I don't know, and bring your old one and come and get this one, but you can call them and say, hey, I want to see what model I have and what security is on it, if it's WPA3 or WPA2. If it is, talk to them about what it takes to get it switched. I'm sure it's free to get it updated. To get an upgraded one. Because again, the security is tighter with the A3 than it is with A2. Okay, so Google two things. Look on your box, your router, and check, or call them and ask them. And if you don't know, Google it. Seriously, you Google the model to see whether it's A3, WPA3 or WPA2. And then because it has stronger AES and advanced encryption standards is AES. But how do I break it down to you guys? And for those who are already in tech, you probably already know these things. But those who are not, it's okay. Don't worry about what it does. Just take my word for it. WPA3 is better than WPA2. So call your team. And if you have your own router, you bought it yourself, you own your router, go to the store and buy a newer model. Because if it's WPA3, A2, then it means you've had it for at least 4 or 5 years. You can change it. You've made your money's worth. Trust me, it's worth it. Okay, so that's the one thing I'm going to say. And so switch your router to A3, update your software, and then change your default credentials. And if you choose to use your default credentials, secure your box where nobody can, even if someone breaks into it, they will not just easily see it. Next thing that I need you to do is verify devices on your router, on your network. Always do that. And this comes from setting up your online account. So really, the number one thing is that set up your online account so that you can watch what's going on, what devices are being plugged into your system. Even if it's like a phone that you no longer use, remove it. Because where is the phone now? Anybody can get it, right? And get access to your network. So always, every once in a while, and I take so much pleasure in it, I just go through to see that the only devices on my network accessing my internet is my children's tablets, which are all named. I don't just name it. I don't leave it to the names, the default names. I want to be able to see that this is child number 8, this is child number 1, this is child number 20. I put them all in there, and I know that I know all the gadgets my husband connects through. I know all these things. I know them. So the moment I see that something is out of the way, I quickly check. It's probably maybe a new gadget that maybe my husband bought or something, or it's nothing, or maybe it's a friend's. It's nothing, but at least I know the flow of devices coming in, and I always delete the devices that we have checked. The kids break tablets so much, we get it repaired or we buy new ones. When we buy new ones, I immediately take it off our network, before giving it away or throwing it away or taking it for recycling. Whatever I do with it, I take it from my account first, wipe everything off it before giving it away. So I am very much aware of, the sun is going away. I am very much aware of everything on our network. My husband knows how to check in case I'm not around or for fun. He doesn't do this for fun, but it gives me so much pleasure to just go on our network and make sure that we are safe. The things that make me happy. It doesn't take much, I tell you. All right. So check all these things that are coming in. Your TV will be on there because it's accessing your internet, right? So all these things that are going in and out of, and it may be a lot, it may be not, but at least you know that no one is accessing your network that you don't know of. And this leads me to my next point. Have a guest account. Please have a guest account. Anybody, don't just give your password. You know how you have parties or get-togethers, and you're sitting there and you're like, oh yeah, the name on the thing is Mrs. Jackson, and then, or the Jacksons, and the password is 12345678910. We live here, love lives here. No, everybody has heard it, which is great. You trust everyone, good. I mean, in my profession, I don't trust anybody when it comes to internet security or information or cyber security. But great. But what about the people around? What about their friends? What about they telling someone else, oh, you're going to the Jackson's house. Oh, I have their password. So in case you get there and no one is there. What about the babysitter? Anything can happen. I'm paranoid. You're probably thinking, so if you don't think if you think I'm doing too much, then okay. But have a guest credentials. You can have a guest name and guest password. And what this does is that they are not getting your main password. And with the guests, I think it's limited, what they can access and what they cannot access. They cannot make any encryption changes. They cannot make any network changes. Most of your personal information will be masked for them. So they won't see all these things that, believe me, you will be surprised the things people can see just by getting in your network. Just that maybe your friends are not that techy, so they are not saying these things on the internet. So don't give your main network into. So this will have a password where it's probably straightforward, still strong password, but it's not your main network for them to get full access to your internet, your system. All right. This next step is common sense, but I will say it anyway. Make sure that your router, where the password, if you don't change the default credentials and you decide to use what the router came with, make sure that it's not exposed. It's not by the window where people passing by can see. Again, maybe I'm doing too much, but just tuck it away in the corner where people who are just visiting can see it, right? Make sure you've turned it maybe to the wall, that it will take an actual effort for them to change it. For them to take it to see it, right? In case maybe the maintenance guy is there, because not all maintenance guys are maintenance guys. All right. So this next one requires a bit, you don't even have to be technical to do this one, but set up a VPN. Okay. And like I always say, or maybe I don't say it on my videos, but when it comes to tech, if it's free, if the product is free, then you are the product, right? So anything that's free is great, but pay that little amount for it. You get what you pay for, right? So VPNs, you can get free once, but it doesn't take much. You can pay as low as $14 a year for a service, right? And depending on your needs. So Google, and if you want me to do any comment, if you want me to talk about VPNs for your home. And I know, again, it's more secure to access your sensitive information if you have, and maybe you're thinking, oh, I don't access it, my stuff outside of my home. Yes, but it's still good to have it, So you can either call any company to help you set it up and then pay for the services, because yes, there is a free one, but I don't recommend it. To be honest, I don't recommend a whole lot of free stuff. If it involves your very sensitive stuff, if your social security number, just pay the little amount of money, unless it's some crazy amount of money. And again, if something costs $30 a month and you are getting it for free, what do you think you're getting? Like, someone should go, now, they're probably selling your information to third-party companies, but because it's free, you don't know. Actually, I'll do another video on cookies and how to set up your cookies and all these things. Maybe this year. The year has ended. But anyway, so set up a VPN. It's very easy and you can turn it on and off. I'm not sure if these things come with the routers already, that you can probably add a service to it, but do a research on it and then get a VPN. And if you think I'm doing too much, I work from home, so I'm already working through the company's VPN. But if anything, I don't want to be the one who leaked information or who got breached. So yes, I do have a VPN set up, but the company I work for also, and most companies, if you work from home, have the tunnel that you're working through anyway, VPN tunnel that you're working through anyway. But for your home, it's really, trust me, very cheap and easy to use. And what happens is that you can set it up in a way that certain information will not display unless the person is going through your VPN, all right? Or certain websites like your banking information will not open if they are not on your VPN. How cool is that? I mean, tech is such an impressive field. So if you're looking into, this video is for everyone and anyone. You don't have to be techie to do it. But if you're looking into switching careers to tech, I highly encourage you to continue. All right. So I think that will be it. If I think of anything else, I'll put it in the description. Yeah, and as I'm talking, I tried not to be too technical, but if I'm going over the video or editing and I see that I have said any too techy words, I will change it. I will put the explanation in the description. Yeah, so I think I've said everything. The thing with not writing notes is that you may forget. If I remember anything, and if I feel like I've remembered, I left out two important, very important. I will do a part 2. Yes, I'm from Africa. We have part 1s, we have part 2s, up to part 20, and we have part 1AB. But no, I digress. So yes, if I feel like I've left way too many, and yes, comment if I'm missing something, or is there something you are doing for your home network security that you feel like the layperson can do it and they don't have to be techie to do it. Even if they have to be techie, most of these things you can call your providers to help you with it. So please let me know if this was helpful, and if you enjoy movies. If you enjoy videos like these, I can always make more videos like this. I am an advocate for network security, personal information security. Secure yourself. The internet is here to stay, and we gotta be ready for it. We gotta be secure. Don't give your information freely. Why is your password? My name is Jackson. That's long enough, but use passphrases, and don't use obvious phrases. Use African proverbs, use Chinese proverbs, use whatever you will easily remember, but make it difficult on them, because sometimes they hack into your system simply because you're too loose. They just want to have fun with you. They know you only have $3 in your account, but they want to have fun with you. Don't give them. And there is a story like that, right? The first hacking that ever happened was for fun. Yeah. So anyway, I hope this video was helpful for you if you are getting, and it was, I digress. This was one of my interview questions, actually. They said that, how are you securing your own home network, right? I hope this video was helpful and you were able to learn a thing or two about securing your home network. And stop by again and let's learn something new. The sun is really sunning, so sorry about the lines, and it's the message behind the video that matters, right? All right, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.